As I stated in my proposal, I used the power up with the EQ8 effect, the gunshot with the glue compressor, the trap also with the glue compressor, and the kill sound with the EQ8 and the glue compressor effects. In the background music, I did the drums, the background that I took from the internet, the bass and the electric guitar, which were all included in the brief. The only thing that I didn't do, which I said I would do in the brief, is the arpeggiator, and because this was going to be used to make the sound more powerful and manipulate the notes. But after doing most of the background music, I realized that I didn't really need it and I shouldn't have put it in. The sub channels, these are all of the drums. The effect have the bass and the electric guitar, and in the bass there is the fine line. These are all the scenes. Six automations. The 6 automations which are in the modified samples are: in the power up I did the EQ8 with 2 gain to make it lower, and also the output gain with the EQ8 to make it a little versatile. In the gunshot I used the glue compressor with the range and with the release. In the trap I didn't include any automation, and in the kill I did the EQ8 with the scale and the glue compressor with the makeup. From the power up I changed by making the frequency higher and the sound smoother, because it was a little annoying at first. In the gunshot I lowered the range, which you can in the gunshot I lowered the range so it could have a bigger hit in a shorter amount of time to make it sound louder and more intense. In the trap I also did the same, but I lowered the range even more so it could have a bigger hit, and also increased the threshold so it could sound more authentic and strong. In the kill I used the EQ8 to make the sound a little steeper, and the glue compressor that was used, so it was used to my liking, so the sound could sound a little better when you can hear the sound effect. I decreased the threshold and increased the makeup, and I also decreased a little the range, so in that short time it can have a better sound. As you can hear without it, it sounds a little more aggressive and not so. And the trap without the glue compressor, will actually exceed the 0 limiter. The gunshot without the glue compressor will sound a lot more rough and unbalanced. Also, in the gunshot I decreased a part of the sound because it was too rough and too repetitive, and in the power up I increased a little the transponse to make it sound a little higher and more authentic, like most power ups do, unlike it was before. for some reason it doesn't want to work without it. As you can see, if I put the transponse back to 0, it will sound a lot more low pitched and not so smooth and not so like normal power. While if I do it in 4ST, it will sound better and it go more with the game. Not it in K, automation and the return tracks. Here are the automation with the return tracks, which I did the reverb with the stereo image, the compressor with the threshold, and the multiband dynamics with the attack time. Here you can hear them separately. Here's the compressor. And here's the multiband dynamics. The reverb was implemented in the electric guitar. The compressor was implemented in the bass halfway, and in the sound and the drums a lot more full, and the multiband dynamics were in the background. The two effects used were the glue compressor in the background, and in here I decreased the threshold and a little the range, and also increased a little the makeup to make it sound a little better. The other effect I chose was the multiband dynamics, which I put in the drums. This was used to make the lower frequency sound a little better, and also reduce a little the high frequencies and the medium, as you can hear without it. It gives it a little more sound and a little more feel to the music. The exported files are the MP3 final exported files are here, and the wave exported files are here. These can also be found in the game, which is right over here as in sounds. These are all the sounds that will be used in the game, which are in MP3. The game, here is the game, the sound effects. You can also increase. Here are the instructions of the game. You need to use the arrow keys, WSD or the arrow keys, to move in any direction. Fire with the left click or space. The P to pause the game, and the player needs to have hit the enemy 3 times to kill him and get a point. Let's go back in game. Here's the power of sound. When an enemy hits the player, it will hurt him, and if the enemy hits him all the times, it will kill him. Now the player can here restart or go back to the main menu. If he restarts, he will be directly here. The power up sound effect, this one will make the player even smaller, and this power up will make him faster. When the player kills an enemy, there is the sound effect of the enemy kill. Once again I have that. Yeah, there is a sound effect of when I hit the enemy. Here is the sound effect of the trap, which is a really strong trap that will probably make the player lose. One more time for you can win. Here is the gunshot, which you've heard a lot of. Well, let's see that. Unfortunately, I could not win the game because it is a very hard game to win.